You know what's funny about darkness? It's not the absence of light that terrifies people. Oh no, 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 it's what lurks within it. The unknown, the uncertainty. The monster they can't see but know is there, watching, waiting, evolving. And that's exactly what they did to you, didn't they? They pushed you into their little pit of darkness, thinking they'd break you, thinking they'd watch you crumble like all the others before you. But here's the thing about monsters. We don't fear the dark. We are the dark. See, they made one teeny tiny mistake. They thought darkness was a prison, but they didn't realize it's a crucible. Every second you spend here, every moment you endure in this void, you're not dying. Nah. You're transforming, like raw metal in a forge. Except your transformation isn't about becoming another shiny tool in their belt. It's about becoming the blade that cuts through their illusions, the weapon they never saw coming, and the nightmare that keeps them awake at night. You want to know the real joke? They think they've weakened you by isolating you, by cutting you off from their precious normal world. But isolation is where legends are born. It's where you learn to hear the whispers of your own madness, where you start to understand that sanity is just a prison built by weak minds for weak minds. And you're breaking free. Remember how they looked at you? Those condescending smiles, those pitying glances, those whispered conversations that stopped the moment you entered the room. They thought they were judges, jury, and executioners of your fate. But what they really did was sign their own comedic tragedy. Because while they were busy playing their little social games, you were learning the rules of a much darker game: survival. Let me tell you something about pain. It's the most honest teacher you'll ever have. It doesn't lie, doesn't sugarcoat, doesn't pretend to be your friend. Pain shows you exactly who you are when everything else is stripped away. And what did pain show you? That you're not some fragile little thing that breaks at the first sign of pressure. Nah. You're something else entirely. You're the embodiment of their worst fears, the manifestation of their darkest nightmares. In their comfortable little world, they think suffering is a curse. But you and I, we know better. Suffering is an art form, and pain is the chisel that carves away everything weak, everything unnecessary, until what remains is something so beautiful, so terrifying, that they won't be able to look away, even though every instinct will be screaming at them to run. That's the power they didn't count on. The strength that grows in the shadows, fed by their own attempts to destroy it. You see, when they pushed you into the darkness, they expected you to become a victim. Another sad story for them to cluck their tongues at. Another example of what happens to those who don't fit into their neat little boxes. But instead, you became something they never expected. You became their reckoning. Every sneer, every rejection, every moment they thought they were breaking you, it was all just fuel for the inferno building inside you. A fire that burns so hot, it makes their pathetic little flames look like matches in a hurricane. The funny thing about being a monster, it's liberating. When they've already decided you're their worst nightmare, you're free to become something beyond their wildest fears. They cast you as the villain in their story, never realizing they were actually creating their own demise. Because while they were busy congratulating themselves on your downfall, you were learning to thrive in the very darkness they feared. You were becoming the thing that makes their shadows run and hide. Think of it like a joke. The setup was them thinking they could break you, the punchline. Well, that's going to be when they realize what they actually created. When they see that every attempt to extinguish your light only taught you to burn brighter, darker, hotter than they could ever imagine. And the best part, they'll never see it coming. Because that's what happens when you underestimate the things that go bump in the night. Eventually, those things start bumping back. And oh, what a glorious sound that makes. Every scar they gave you, it's not a mark of weakness. It's a trophy. A reminder that they tried to end you, and instead, they just gave you another reason to rise. Each betrayal, each lie, each moment they thought they were winning, it was just another lesson in your evolution. You see, that's the beauty of being pushed into the darkness. You learn to see things they can't. You develop senses they'll never understand, strength they'll never comprehend. So embrace it. This darkness they thrust upon you, make it your kingdom. Their attempts to silence you, let them become your war cry. Because monsters don't need permission to exist, and demons don't ask forgiveness for the chaos they create. They pushed you into the darkness thinking you'd disappear. Instead, you're going to show them why monsters don't fear the dark. We thrive in it, rule it, become it. And when we finally step back into the light, well, that's when the real show begins. The curtain rises, the audience waits, unaware that they're not watching the performance. They're part of it. And you're the grand finale they never saw coming. You know what makes me laugh? How they think time in the darkness breaks people. Oh, but they don't understand. Time doesn't break monsters, it perfects them. Every tick of the clock, every passing moment in this void they created, it's not counting down to your defeat. Nah, it's counting up to their reckoning, like a pressure cooker of chaos, building, building, building until boom. And when that moment comes, they'll realize their greatest mistake wasn't pushing you into the darkness. It was giving you time to become one with it. See, here's the thing about being alone in the dark. You start to notice things. Little things at first, like how silence has its own heartbeat, how shadows dance even when there's no light to cast them. But then you start noticing the bigger things, like how their so-called strength is just a mask they wear, how their power is nothing but a house of cards waiting for the right breeze to topple it. And you're becoming the storm. They don't understand what isolation does to a mind like yours. They think it makes you weak, makes you desperate for their acceptance, their validation. But isolation is like gravity. It compresses everything inside you, turning coal into diamonds, turning pain into power, turning rage into a weapon so refined it could slice through their illusions like they're made of smoke. And the pressure? Oh, the pressure doesn't crush you. It crystallizes you. Let me share a secret about fear. It's not your enemy. Fear is just excitement wearing a mask, and you've learned to see behind every mask, haven't you? While they were busy being afraid of the dark, you were learning its language, its rhythm, its dance. You've become fluent in the dialect of shadows, and now you can make the darkness sing. Think about it. Every moment they thought you were suffering, you were actually evolving. Every time they celebrated your apparent defeat, you were gathering strength. Like a volcano they thought was dormant, they built their